It's award season, and the 2025 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominations are in, and love 'em or hate 'em, this year's ballot is packed with long-overdue legends, 90s icons, and a few surprises. From the chubbiest of checkers finally getting a nod to Outkast making history as first-time nominees, the Hall continues its balancing act between honoring pioneers and recognizing newer generations. But, of course, no Rock Hall cycle is complete without controversy. Who made the cut? Who got snubbed? And why are metal fans still furious? Stick with us as we break it all down here on Real Brave Live. Kevin.
Brian.
Dan.
The 2025 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominations are in. And they're great.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Roll of Fame. And they're great. You know who's in?
Mariah Carey.
The 2025 nominations are Chubby Checker, Bad Company, Billy Idol, Cyndi Lauper.
Lauper.
True
Cyndi
Colors.
Lauper. Isn't it with an H?
No, Lauper.
Anyway, the Black Crowes, Oasis, Outkast, and so many others like Fish. And we're going to talk about that and more here on
Real Brave Live.
But first, if you're interested in learning guitar, please click below and you can find a link to an online course that's going to blow your mind. Greece, you were in a show last week. Was that a family reunion, an Italian family reunion, or was it an actual show?
Very funny. No, I was in a pit band last week. Yes, I played bass guitar for the Bergen Catholic High School production of Grease.
Oh,
at the Hackensack Performing Arts Center in Hackensack, New Jersey.
Hey, that's a nice little gig. Bergen Catholic's a big school. And how'd you get that gig?
A friend of mine runs the pit for that school.
Okay.
I've done it for a couple of years. I did the Addams Family with them last year.
So about a year ago, you had been doing pit orchestra stuff, and I said, hey, throw my name in there.
I did throw your name in there.
And they looked me up, and they were like, no.
No, I haven't gotten hired in a year, so I guess it's just like, it's...
Gotcha. Yeah.
You don't have a website that says Man of the Internet?
You don't?
I don't.
I do.
No.
Because Brian does. What's it? Want to let everybody know what it is?
No!
MySpace.com/
Oh, goodness, guys. Well, this is your favorite topic. This is the...
I love the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Rock and Roll
I love
Hall
it.
of Fame.
I think it's stupid, but I love it.
Okay. Well, we've done a few similar episodes, but the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is known for its absurdity, I think, out of all of the Hall of Fames. I think this is one of the most absurd ones.
I don't know. The Mustard Hall of Fame.
I don't know.
We did get a lot of questions about the Mustard Hall of Fame not that long ago on the show, so I feel like we have to throw some love to the Mustard Hall of Fame.
You can't... There's a lot you can't do without mustard.
Spicy Brown. Dijon.
But...
Classic
no.
Yellow.
Classic Yellow.
No. But you need mustard for other condiments. If you're going to make like a
relish?
Like a relish.
Yeah.
Very good.
Or if you're making a beef Wellington.
A beef Wellington, which I've never. It's very hard.
I've seen many a video, but never have.
I've made it. It's good. It's not as hard as you think.
You think so?
It is easier than you think to make a beef Wellington, yes.
Is there any beef Wellington in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
There's Meatloaf.
No, he's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so no.
So the 2025 process was another continued push for diversity. The committee knows the Hall has historically under-inducted women, so I guess we've got the first of the absurdity today. Not Cyndi Lauper. I think she's fantastic. She's got a great voice. You have to look at the 80s and be like, yeah, she was a rocker that was doing pop, right?
Okay, maybe, sure.
No? You have nothing to say about Cyndi Lauper.
I'm waiting for the next part of this, which I'm going to disagree with.
Well, whatever. So we'll just skip over Cyndi Lauper.
No. What I thought you were going to say was that she is more deserving than Mariah Carey. That's where I thought you were going.
She's more of a rocker than Mariah Carey is.
Okay, but the title doesn't matter.
Why?
Michael Jackson's in there, Lionel Richie's in there, Mary J. Blige is in there, Whitney Houston is in there. It is no stop, Kevin. It is no longer it is no longer only rock and roll. So we have to get over that criticism. Like if Whitney Houston's in there, you can't say Mariah Carey's not deserving.
Mariah Carey is a traffic stop of herpes.
Okay.
Musically. I don't know what that means, but Kevin?
Traffic stop with herpes for ya. Open sores and I.
Here, I'm going to make Kevin happy here. What if it was slave to the traffic light of herpes?
I like that.
It's a Fish reference for you.
I know, yes, yeah. Who's Fish?
Not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yet.
It's not going to happen.
I think it will happen.
Can we get to that? Can we get to the ones that are in it first?
Yeah, sure.
John Sykes, in interviews talking about the Nomcom, said that we need a committee that understands and is relevant to the artists we're inducting. So the people that are currently in the Nomcom, we're going to talk about that today. I think there's also a backlog and a fresh blood debate that's igniting tensions in the decision making, because you've got Chubby Checker. Chubby Checker's in there for some reason this year.
So Chubby Checker has an interesting Rock Hall history. A couple of years ago,
Not to be confused with Fats Domino
Fats Domino, Chubby Checker, different people.
Or
Different
Fat
people.
Joe.
from.
He's a rapper.
Yeah, I remember Fat Joe.
Yeah.
What's he doing today, you think?
He's probably ruining a Yankee game right before the playoffs. Go ahead,
yeah.
Brian.
I did find out today, by the way, that Chubby Checker successfully sued a penis measuring tool called a Chubby Checker. Not a joke. Found that out today. It's a real
LOL.
thing. Kevin, how many Chubby Checkers do you own?
I own only Fats Dominoes.
Oh, okay, got it. So Chubby Checker there was this short-lived singles category where they were putting in just like a song. When there wasn't an artist that was big enough, they felt like, let's put in the song. So Chubby Checker's in for the twist, but now he's being put in as he's being nominated to be a full-on recipient. But basically, to me, Chubby Checker just does like novelty songs, and I don't know if that's really...
Chubby Checker doing not. What's this? The late 50s and early 60s without Chubby Checker? The twist, right?
There's the twist.
There's Let's Twist again, yeah.
And then slow twisting.
Yeah.
There's no twisting. There's no twisting.
Fish also has a song called Twist.
I'm sure they do. If you're first time watching the show, first of all, sorry. Second of all, Brian.
I'm not Brian.
Is Kevin is a Fish fan, an unapologetic Fish fan. You're not allowed to explain who they are, though.
So you think, Dan, you think that Chubby Checker belongs in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I think he's a foundational part of the lore in rock and roll. The Twist is an iconic song that didn't start dance craze. It was part of the dance craze movement of the late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah, also the mess around.
The mess around.
Dance the mess around.
He also did Limbo Rock. You know, the Limbo song that everyone like dances to at weddings and shit. That's also Chubby Checker.
I tune out at weddings when everyone's starting to do the turkey dance trot. What is it? The chicken dance?
Chicken dance, yeah.
I don't like it.
The stanky leg.
The stanky leg. You do the stanky leg. Yeah, the stanky leg. That's part of your kid's generation too, right?
Sadly, yes.
Okay. You want to talk about the nomination controversies and process from the past 5 years?
Well, there was one artist I wanted to talk about besides Fish, who I'm sure we'll get to in a minute.
Okay.
Have either of you before this morning heard of Mana, who was nominated?
Nicki Minaj?
No, this is the Latin artist that's getting in, right? Yeah.
So they are the best-selling Latin rock band of all time. Like 25 or 30 million records sold.
Wow.
That's cool.
Huge everywhere in the world except for here.
Which means it doesn't exist.
But they can tour. Like they toured the States a couple years ago and played like the Hollywood Bowl or something because there's enough Spanish-speaking people in this country who know who they are. And so I think it's actually kind of a cool idea to be bringing in some international music. If the Hall of Fame is supposed to be more than just American rock and roll, then we should be embracing other music. So I actually think I don't really know Mana's music at all. The little I've heard is not for me necessarily.
Mana.
Do.
Mana. Here's
I think you need to have heard of somebody for them to be Hall of Fame worthy.
I'm looking at 2 billion views 3 billion views listens of songs on Spotify. So no, I think that sounds like rock and roll. I'm never letting that go.
The toothpaste out of the tube with that.
What?
There's already hip hop and jazz and country and pop in there.
Well, I've never agreed to that.
They didn't ask you?
No. No. They never agreed. So no, I like the fact that they're in there, and it sounds okay, but it sounds like the Police. Sorry. Well, that one does. I don't know about the rest of them. And if you're a Manon fan, please comment below.
La Policia.
See. So Mariah Carey's in there before we get to the process. Are you going to be okay? You think it's going to be because of that one song you love?
I hope not. And also, I've texted both of you how I feel about that. How I feel about this.
Why are you so anti-Mariah Carey?
I'm not anti-Mariah Carey, but if Mariah Carey gets into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame before the band Phish, spelled Phish, they're from Vermont. They're a jam band. Been around 40-something years. If she gets in before Phish, I will shave my head on this podcast.
Okay. Yeah. So here's my question for you: If the Hall of Fame was called the Popular Music Hall of Fame, would you have a problem with her getting in before Phish?
No, because Phish is not very popular. It's popular among Phish fans.
I'm talking about pop music, like as a category, as a large overarching category.
They have that already. It's called the Grammys.
That's not a Hall of Fame. That's an award ceremony.
Then make a pop music Hall of Fame then.
They just named this poorly. But again, like it's already happened. Whitney Houston's already in there. Michael Jackson's already in there. Lionel Richie's already in there. So why is Mariah Carey different than that?
Because it's been 40 years. And they have played over 4,000 concerts. Not one of them has been the same.
Look, if I had a vote, I'd vote for Phish. I don't have white dude dreads or a drug problem, so I'm not in their target demographic. But I would vote for them because I think that they have done enough to get a nomination.
First of all, fuck you. Second of all, true. And yeah, no, they write all their own music. They perform it regularly. The recent stuff has been kind of shitty, but oh man, they rock. They're just go to a show. They rock so hard. Dan,
I've been to 2 of the exact same show.
Shut up. Just shut up. Take that back.
I can pinpoint my exact Phish trajectory.
Yeah.
Which was when I was in high school. I read a review of a live one.
Phish trajectory.
In a magazine, and I went to the record store, Soundtrack Records, Dumont, New Jersey, R.I.P. And I purchased a live one, the 2-disc set.
Yeah.
And I put it on, and when Bouncing Around the Room came on, I'm like, I like this a lot.
Yeah.
I think I'm a fan of this band. When I got to Tweezer, I said I'm out. Because
Tweezer's like their biggest song.
Yeah, that song sucks. And it's the lack of funny humor that they think is hilarious. Like the crowd laughing when they say Uncle Ebenezer makes me want to kill myself. I fucking hate that so much.
Why?
I love it. I love the passion.
Because it's not funny, and they all treat it like it's it's the funniest thing.
Because they're in on the joke, Brian.
Yeah, but the joke sucks.
To answer your question, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was named by Amit Ertegun,
Yeah.
a legendary co-founder of Atlantic Records and a major figure in shaping the music industry.
But even that first year, they had wasn't B.B. King in the first class? Or early
It
on?
was-
That's not rock and roll, that's blues.
No, it was early pioneers, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, and Elvis Presley. Did you say Chuck Berry?
No, I said B.B. King.
B.B. King. B.B. King only got in recently, I think.
Oh, really? My point is that it's always been a bad name, and rock and roll has always been a bad name, too. Some people will tell you that, Chuck Berry was the last rock and roll artist, because everything else from that was different than what the definition was. So who cares about the definition is my point.
Okay. It's in Cleveland, and it turned rock and roll. After multiple cities, including... Why is it in Cleveland? Did anybody know that?
The birthplace of rock and roll, Cleveland. The term rock and roll was born in Cleveland.
In that facility, we have a student who interned there. In
Yes.
that facility is the giant hot dog that Phish famously rode to the stage.
You're going to die on this hill.
And they performed at Genesis's induction.
Inducted Genesis, yeah. Look, they deserve to be in. This is their first nomination. It might take them more than a year. Mariah Carey's been on the table before, and she didn't get in then.
Wait a second. Phish is in on the nomination?
Yeah, they got a nomination today.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's why I sent
Why
that
are we
message.
talking about this?
I just because if we're talking about lunch, Kevin's going to start talking about fish. That's why.
Well, it depends what you're having. You having tilapia? You having cod? Get it?
Halibut.
Salmon, my go-to, which I left at home today. After multiple cities, including New York and Memphis, Cleveland was secured by offering $65 million in public funding from USAID, probably. and Ahmet Ertegun was the driving force behind it.
Not touching that one.
That was a poke.
10-foot
That was a
pole.
poke at you just to see what you'd say. I don't give a shit. So, all right, well, tell me more about this because it's not in any of my notes that they got a nom.
It's their
From
first. It's their first one, and it's a long time coming.
So it's
all
never,
you gotta know.
It's never going to happen.
So the full list, because apparently Dan didn't do his research for the show. Bad Company, The Black Crowes, Mariah Carey, Chubby Checker, Joe Cocker, Billy Idol, Joy Division / New Order, Cyndi Lauper, Mana, Oasis, Outkast, Fish, Soundgarden, and The White Stripes.
All right, so you know Mariah Carey's getting in and Fish isn't, right?
I actually think that both might get in, but not this year. I think both will get in next year.
Fish.
Yeah.
I'll be so mad.
I don't even understand how that's possible. It's leaving out so many others. What about Mo?
What about Mo?
Nothing. I just
There'd be no Mo without Fish. Is the Dead in the hall?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they are.
What about the Allman Brothers?
They're in the hall,
They're
yeah.
in there, yeah.
What other jam band?
Widespread Panic, I
No,
guess.
no.
Leonard Skinner was a jam
Leonard
band.
Skinner.
They're a Southern rock band, they're not a jam band. There's a difference.
Yeah, they go on for like a long time.
Not as long as Fish.
I mean, the string cheese
as
incident.
long as Fish.
There are a lot of blind spots in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I think that prog rock, which jam bands are the dumb version of prog rock, like
God. And you're right. You're right.
I'm not wrong.
But Fish is not like other jam
No,
bands.
but my point is that that genre is underrepresented in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like King Crimson is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and King Crimson is like an incredible prog rock band. Yes is not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. These bands have, I think, an argument to be in there. Sorry, Yes just got in there.
Yeah, they got in.
Yeah.
I would argue that metal is underrepresented.
It is also absolutely, as is hip hop, there's all sorts of genres of music that are
But it's
underrepresented.
not rock and roll.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It's already over.
Judas Priest is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame while Iron Maiden is still eligible for induction. Explain that to me, Brian.
Judas Priest is better? I don't know.
No. Judas Priest is not better.
Yeah.
I would say that Iron Maiden is equally as good, if not better. You can also argue that Judas Priest started metal, but whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, the RRHOF CEO, you can also say it, CEO, right?
What? Sure.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
Greg Harris has addressed so many of these things publicly, assuring that every band that you've wanted to get in will almost certainly be inducted one day, and urging fans to bide their time. That's a quote, a direct quote from him.
So, I think there is sort of a logic to if you wait long enough. Like, if you had told me the first year it was open, which was 88, I think, that one year Bon Jovi would be in, I'd be like, you're fucking high. But Bon Jovi's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame now because you wait long enough and just all this shit happens, right?
I had so many Bon Jovi jokes and I forgot to put them in here. Damn it. I'm on page 3 in case you're following along. Going to page 4. Prog rock pioneer Todd Rundgren. I love saying that name. Rundgren. Was finally inducted in 2021. And a lot of people were like, whatever. But he was definitely like, whatever, because he never cared about such honors. He didn't show up. There's a lot of snubs, too. So the controversy centers on, as far as like getting into the hall, it's on the expanded range of genres represented in the Hall of Fame, because now we've got hip-hop. So Whitney Houston was inducted in 2020. Biggie, 2020. Jay-Z, 21. Is Puffy in?
Puffy's not in, no.
Oh, my goodness.
Never will be now.
Dolly Parton, who's not a hip-hop artist, she was nominated in 2022 for some reason. Missy Elliott in 23. That's also fueled the debate that I'm saying. Some suggested that the hall should be rebranded as a music hall of fame. I like that.
It essentially already is.
I like that. I like that a lot better.
Yeah, sure.
You're like the guy who gets mad that Burger King serves chicken.
No, I don't eat at Burger King.
But I'm just saying, even though it's called Burger King, they still have chicken.
Don't they have like chicken fries?
I don't know.
I think they do. Kevin?
They do have chicken fries, yes.
Yeah, I would never eat that.
I have eaten them. They're just fine.
No.
They're not great.
It's mashed up chicken butts.
Yep. So are chicken nuggets. It's just a different shape.
And chicken tenders.
And chicken tenders. Well, no, chicken tenders can be actually from the.
They can be, but they're sometimes
the tender part of the breast.
Probably.
Like McDonald's Select.
Or chicken fingers.
Chicken fingers. Yeah. That's just mashed up.
Speaking of fingering, Bono has described rock and roll as the sound of liberation that could be political, spiritual, or sexual. He's also connected the power of music to the idea of freedom. So that's why the name of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is wrong. Wrong. They need to rechange. They need to rechange it. They need to change it now, immediately. Brian,
I'm cool with it. I'd support a name change. It wouldn't bother me.
fine.
What bothers me about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame more than anything else is that the way they induct things. Like, for instance, Nirvana's in, and they deserve to be in. But Sonic Youth and the Pixies,
thank you.
All the bands in Black Flag, all these bands that influence them aren't in.
Yeah.
And it seems weird to me that you put people in, but the people who make that possible aren't there. That bothers me.
I would just argue that Frank Black and the Pixies, or more Frank Black, is the dominating force that drove alternative rock forward.
Yeah, for many years.
Yeah. When you said you might have that extra ticket, I went back in time to listen to all, like, the records, and I was like, oh my God, it's so good. So good. Teenager of the Years. And he did everything in order. You went to see the show?
Yeah, he did the whole album in order. Yeah.
Have you listened to any Frank Black there, friend?
No.
You should.
I actually have the one you would like. He made an album called Dog in the Sand in 01.
Oh, yeah, that's excellent.
And it's all recorded live in the studio to 2 tracks. So it's mixed live as well. So
cool.
everything is just as it was played. And when you listen to it, it's really lush and gorgeous and cool.
I like that.
The Hall of Fame, like I said before, it has been criticized for its historical biases and who gets in. Females make up less than 9% of all inductees, and there's, that's not right. There's so many women that deserve to be in there in the Music Hall of Fame, right?
Sure.
Some criticisms. Gene Simmons of Kiss mentioned that. Where am I? I'm on page 6, you sons of
anarchy.
Mentioned, what did he say? He blasted the Hall of Fame in 2021 for snubbing Iron Maiden, calling it disgusting, saying that the Hall hates bands that actually have fans. I don't know how you say that. But Simmons and his
Bon Jovi's in the Hall of Fame. They're not in for their musical prowess. They're in because they have a ton of fans. So fuck off, Gene Simmons.
Simmons' bandmate Paul Stanley have had a chip on your shoulder about the Hall. Kiss themselves were inducted in 2014 after years of fan pressure. He believes that many heavy metal rock bands have unfairly been ignored by what he terms the elitist voters.
I think heavy metal is underrepresented in the Hall of Fame.
Definitely. Steve Miller inducted in 2016. Just outside the 5-year window. They're not even adhering to the window. Now they're putting all these people, the backloggers, in. Just outside the 30-year window, excuse me. So he's at not the 5-year window.
25 years is how long you have to be a recording artist.
25-year?
Yeah.
Famously ranted about the Hall's monopolistic industry board and poor treatment of artists at the 2016 ceremony.
What I know is bullshit is every seat at the on the floor there, which is where the bands and their guests sit, is $10,000. And so if you're inducted, you want to bring your wife and kids, you're out $30-40 grand. And for some bands, when U2 is inducted, they can afford to do that.
Yeah.
But Chubby Checker, that dude probably he didn't write his own songs. He probably got screwed over in publishing like so many artists did at that time. Can he afford to bring his family to the Hall of Fame? Probably not.
Probably not.
That's really shitty.
Yeah. That is terrible. I need to think about it that way. And there's so many artists that hit rock bottom and they never get back up again.
Right.
But not Jan Wenner.
Jan Wenner.
Jan Wenner?
Jan Wenner.
Jan. I like Jan better.
I think Jay with a Jan.
It's
right?
Jan. He's a piece of shit, but it's Jan.
In an interview in New York Times published a few years ago, he talked about his book, The Masters. Brian, you want to talk about this? Do you know anything about this?
Yeah, he interviewed all these artists that he considered the best of rock and roll.
And who is Jan Wenner?
He founded Rolling Stone magazine.
Okay.
And was their editor-in-chief until recently. And I believe there was one woman in the book or 0 women.
0 women.
And he basically said women aren't intellectual enough to talk about music.
Yeah, that's the wrong thing to say.
It's a bad take.
Yeah, that's really bad. Bad job by him.
Seems like something Kanye West would tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. While selling his Nazi t-shirts?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even want to touch that. Anyway, so he was thrown out, right?
Yes,
he was thrown off the Hole's board.
He's
Rock
gone.
and roll.
I mean, if you come out and say, like, 50% of the population isn't smart enough to talk about music, you should be fired from that Hall of
Yeah,
Fame
it's
board.
not. It's just a bad job. Terrible. And if you have those thoughts, keep them in your head and never say them out loud. And it's not nice. Yawn. But I don't care. But they've gotten better. They've gotten more women in there, and I think that the Hall is progressing. You want to talk about the nomination committee?
The Nomcom.
What's the Nomcom?
It's the people who make the list that happens today, right? It's the
Yeah.
people who look at the folks who aren't in and put forward a list. And I believe the committee votes then. I think it's the 15 or 16 like highest vote getters get on the ballot for that year.
But it's a long process, and I don't really want to. I put it all in here, Kevin, if you want to read through it and give me your thoughts. 'Cause I know that you're into that. You're into thoughts.
Okay, so
Yeah,
the
pervasive
Hall of
thoughts.
Fame nominating committee, often called the Nom.
So while he's reading that,
shapes each year's ballot of nominees, which in turn leads to the inductees.
when he's going to use his internal voice. Thank you. The Nomcom is the committee that is going to get the nominations, right? And then also induct.
Well, no, there's a separate committee. Anyone who's in the Hall of Fame gets a vote.
Okay.
And music writers and industry professionals, there's no real process for it. They just award votes to ballots to people.
30 industry experts, including music journalists and historians, artists and musicians,
That's the Nomcom, yeah.
DJs, producers, and record industry executives.
How do you get on the Nomcom, though? Do you have to,
You have to be one of those things.
knob and a com?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Common or knob for sure.
Knob and a com?
Yeah.
Well, some Nomcom members are typically chosen for their expertise and influence.
I want to say, I think Questlove is on the nominating committee.
Tom Morello. I've got a whole
Morello,
list here, so it took a little while to find this list. But I've got some people on here that through the years have been it. In the past 5 years, you've got someone named, what page am I on here? I don't know. Page 12? Page 11. Rick Krim.
That
He's a
sounds
music-
made up. That's
Yeah,
totally made up.
That's a made up name. He was an
Someone's
MTV guy.
alias.
John Sykes.
Who now
Chairman.
runs the nominating committee, I believe.
Okay. Cliff Bernstein.
Manager Metallica.
Wasn't he the bassist that died from a bus overdose?
Cliff.
Cliff Burton. Did you say bus overdose, by the way?
Yeah,
too?
it was a bus overdose. He got crushed by a bus.
Yeah, too many buses.
Too many
on him.
buses, too much bus in the system.
One too many buses.
That's terrible. But if you have been following the show, that's a really good joke. Just really, really dark.
On many occasions, I've had to re-ask, isn't that the guy that got crushed by a bus?
Yeah. One too many buses on him. Because it's funny because you music, death, right? Drugs, buses.
Sure, yeah.
You get it?
I get it. I totally get it.
This is a kids program, right?
For the children.
Peter Mensch. He's a mensch. What does he do? He's a partner at Q Prime.
He was a co-manager.
Co-manager Metallica. Def Leppard. Ooh.
Hey, what has 9 arms and sucks?
Huh?
What has 9 arms and sucks?
What?
Def Leppard.
Anthony DeCurtis. I don't know him.
He's a writer.
David Frick.
He's a shitty writer.
Alan Light.
I don't know who that is.
I love the fact that you know these people. Nathan Brackett, music journalist. He's a shitty writer.
Probably.
Maybe. And Sandy Alouette.
Jante Alouette?
I don't know. Meg Griffin. Meg Griffin's...
Peter.
What?
Peter Griffin.
Meg Griffin is
His
not
daughter.
his
Yeah.
daughter.
His daughter.
Yeah.
Canonically.
What is she doing on the show?
She's played by Mila Kunis.
She is, yes.
Karen Glauber. Mike Kaufman. I don't know any of these
They
people.
all sound made up.
Yeah. Daryl. Oh, DMC's on it.
Yeah.
Yep. Dave Grohl.
Questlove.
Tom Morello.
Linda Perry from Four Non Blondes.
What is she doing on it? That's crazy.
Oh, she wrote a ton of hits in there. aughts. Like she wrote that song "Beautiful" by Christina Aguilera. She became like she wrote a bunch of Pink
Oh, wow,
songs.
really?
Yeah, she became like a big songwriter in the early 2000s. Yeah.
And I said, hey, yeah,
What's going on?
yeah, what's going on? She wrote that song.
Yeah.
That's good for her. Excellent. Linda, big fan of the show. And other people that I don't know.
Someone here's named Tracy Jordan. Isn't that Tracy Morgan's character name on 30 Rock?
Maybe.
I mean, that'd be funny if a fictional character was on the nominating committee.
I think, according to Kevin, all fictional characters are on this nomination.
How long do you think like Elon Musk or Donald Trump gets on this panel? Donald Trump just named himself the chair of the Kennedy Center.
He did, yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you do, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what I would do.
I would
sure.
do that too.
How many years in a row would Fish be inducted? Would be honored at the Kennedy Center if you were the chairman?
They would have a residency there
Okay.
and play nowhere else, and I would be the only one in the audience.
Speaking of small audiences and whatnot, did you see Paul
Hateful
McCartney
fans.
play the Bowery Ballroom last night?
No.
Get the fuck out of here.
They announced it at noon, and you had to go there and buy a ticket in person. 1 ticket per person, non-transferable. Show started at 6:30 p.m. He played 25 songs, like 15 Beatles songs, for a 500-seat venue. I almost called out of here to
Pretty
go to
cool.
that show.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would have been like, sayonara, that's great.
I would have never gotten to Manhattan in time to buy a ticket. Like you had to be at the box office of the Bowery Ballroom.
It must have been pandemonium.
Oh, I'm sure it was. It was like $25 too. It wasn't expensive at all.
See, when I'm 82, how old is he now?
82 or 3, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want to be doing. I want to be like very active. I think the baby boomer generation sucks, according to Brian. But they're trying to redefine what it is to be old.
They want to work till they die.
Well, medical science is trying to redefine what it means to be old.
And what is that?
It's just like supplements and
Yeah. Are you a biohacker?
no, I
Didn't you say you're going to die of diabetes?
more of a biohazard. No, I actually am in danger of being pre-diabetic, but
Yeah.
I'm not yet pre-diabetic.
I think we are all basically on that.
Well, if you're American, you are.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, that's how it is. Yeah. Well, another year down, Kevin.
Oh,
Another year of nominations from the Rock and Roll Hall.
and in a couple weeks we'll do the winners episode.
Yeah, the winners episode will be whatever. Wait, did they announce that soon?
It's a few months, I think.
Whatever. Do you want to do a game?
Yeah.
I haven't even looked at this. I'm sure this is really good.
Wait, you haven't looked at the game that you're running?
Correct.
Cool.
The Rock. Oh, we need music.
I got you.
Hold on. No. No.
Here goes more fish. Here it comes.
No.
By the way, during that whole first segment, I was just exclusively playing Fish songs. I don't know.
Really?
Must have been upwards of 10 or 11 different references for the keen viewer or listener at home.
They don't own laptops or phones.
You're right. Whatever Wi-Fi you're stealing, Fish fans.
From whatever Dunkin' Donuts you find yourself in.
Today's game show is the Rock Hall Showdown, the ultimate controversy edition. Each round is more devious than the other.
Ooh.
Some questions will sound true, but others will be slightly twisted to mislead. Some will be obscure, requiring real insider knowledge of the Rock Hall. Bonus points for explaining why, which we didn't do last time, a statement is true or false. And at the end, the Rock Hall Professor title is awarded to the most knowledgeable or lucky idiot on this table. Ready?
Do you have any jackets with elbow pads?
Like patches on the
Yeah, the
elbows?
patches.
I don't believe so, no.
Okay.
Do you?
All right.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get this game going so we can get back to work. Round one, nominated or figment of my imagination.
So this isn't they're
True or
in the Rock
false?
and Roll Hall of Fame. It's have they been nominated for the Rock and Roll
Nominated or figment of my imagination.
Got it.
The players must identify whether these artists have been nominated for the Rock Hall or if I just made them up. Ready? Here we go. Kraftwerk has been nominated for the Rock Hall 8 times before getting in.
Who's that question to?
Oh, sorry. Whoever wants to go first.
That is true.
True, and it is true. Very good. Very good. Very good. Yeah, and if you... I don't want to go through this if you want to explain why or what you have and why you're explaining your question.
I mean, I know Kraftwerk is in. They should be in.
All right, shut
Rock
up.
Pioneers.
The Monkees have been nominated twice, but have yet to be inducted, Kevin.
Is that false because they're a fictional band? Well, I know that they were like a real band, but they were like a parody of the Beatles, weren't they?
They were invented for a television show. Yes.
Right.
But they've never been nominated despite fan campaigns. Next, Brian.
Yeah.
The Smiths were nominated in 2013 and 2015, but lost both times.
Correct.
Very good. They were nominated, but never inducted. What's the score?
2-1.
Nice. Cher was nominated for the Rock Hall, but turned it down. Kevin.
I don't think Cher would turn something like that down, so I'm going to say false.
False. She's never been nominated, and she has expressed frustration about it.
Yes.
Too bad, Cher. And Brian, Foreigner was...
I said, yeah, I'm waiting.
Foreigner was nominated in 1998, but turned it down.
That's not true. They didn't get into last year.
Very good. Who's winning?
3-2, Brian. But we've got every question
Brian
right
talks
so
about
far.
himself in the third person.
That was five questions. So
All right, round two. Two truths and a lie. Rock Hall Scandal Edition. Each round, the host will read. That's me. That's me, guys. 3 scandalous facts about the Rock Hall. 2 are true, but 1 is completely made up. Players must identify the lie. Set 1.
Kevin's up this time.
Here we go. Jan Wenner was removed from the Rock Hall's board in 2023 after saying female black artists weren't articulate enough to include in this book.
is that true?
Female and black artists weren't. Yes, that is true.
Yes.
You know what? There's.
Did we just talk about that?
Yeah.
Just talk about that.
Sorry.
I was barely listening when I heard that.
He was thinking about the TPS reports. Next up, Kiss's Paul
The
Stanley.
Fish Show.
Kiss's Paul Stanley called the Rock Hall selection process a boys' club run by critics who hate us.
We just talked about this also. That is true.
All right, very good. And Kevin.
I would have said false, and that it's Gene Simmons. Yeah.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Iron Maiden's Bruce Dickinson once stormed out of the Rock Hall event, smashing his mic on stage.
Did you just say that this segment is called Two Truths and a Lie?
Correct.
False.
Very good. He's been listening. Set 2. Here we go. This is lightning round almost. Gene Simmons once suggested the Rock Hall rename itself because they induct too many non-rock acts.
I'm sure he said that. That's true.
Yes. And Kevin, Stephen Miller's Rock Hall induction speech included a rant about the Hall's business practices.
I'm going to say that because the last round of Two Truths and a Lie went true, false, that it would seem weird for it to be true, false again. So I'm going to say false.
I have a question.
Yes.
So you're using the logic of there's
Like SAT test taking.
SAT's test taking,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is there's a certain amount of C
Yeah, exactly.
answers,
Yeah.
and you're freaking wrong.
Oh!
Hey. Did you know you score higher if you guess randomly on each question than if you were to just put A for every answer?
You want to hear something? No, I didn't know that. But do you want to know what my SAT score was?
You remember? I don't remember what mine was.
Yes. Do you want to know though? Because you're
Sure.
gonna feel bad for me. It was like 690.
Out of 700? Whoa,
Out of-
dude.
No,
I honestly cannot tell you what I got on my SATs.
it was very low. I did not care.
I don't remember if when I took the SATs, they had just transitioned from like out of 1,200 points to out of like 1,800.
It went from 1,600 to something else.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like
It was
2,300.
Yeah, it was 1,600 when I took it, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not do well, but I'm a smart man.
Rip.
Did we finish that round?
No,
Metallica refused to attend their own Rock Hall induction, calling it a corporate sham.
that is not true. They were there.
Yes, that is not true. They were there. So number 3 is false. Round 3. Wait, they're not in the Snubbed Legends Challenge. What's the score?
6-4, Brian.
6-4, Brian. We're gonna end it here. So the players must guess if these iconic artists have ever been inducted.
Okay.
Ready?
Kevin's up first.
Boston.
More than a feeling. Oh, everybody knows Boston's More Than a Feeling. They play it like 4 times a day on Q1043.
At least 4 times a day.
I'm going to say they've never been inducted.
Excellent job, sir. Excellent job. Tina Turner, solo,
She was inducted last year before, yes.
2021. I can Tina Turner have been in since 1991. Whatever. Soundgarden.
Aren't they nominated for this year? So I'm going to say no.
Very good. Motorhead.
Not in.
Not in. Iron Maiden.
We talked about this one too. They're not in.
Very good. Judas Priest.
They are in.
The New York Dolls.
I don't know who that is.
Wow, we should talk about that a
Not
little bit.
in. And actually, yesterday I ordered a T-shirt because
Yeah, he's
David
very
Johnson
sick.
Is dying.
Yeah.
and so I ordered a T-shirt that supports him.
That's really sad. He's a famous guy. New York Dolls
But
are...
is he Rock Hall famous? I'm gonna say no.
sorry, we're talking about
He
the-
was also Buster Poindexter, hot, hot, hot. You know that song?
Buster Poindexter.
You like it hot, hot, hot.
That's the same guy.
Same guy, yeah. He got
And
very
he was
famous.
in Scrooge, the Bill Murray Christmas movie.
Oh wow.
You are just a vault of knowledge, my friend.
Useless knowledge. Yes.
Useless.
Yes.
It was sad to see that. So he has a brain tumor,
End stage 4.
something else, cancer, and now they're asking for money?
They're doing like a GoFundMe essentially for him. Yeah.
So if I can remember this, we'll post that below. Please check it out. I mean, the New York Dolls are legendary in the early New York 70s scene.
Yeah.
Like in the CBGB scene.
They're like the bridge between like blues, rock, and punk. Like
Yes.
the Ramones and Aerosmith wouldn't exist without the New York Dolls.
Yeah.
And that's a very weird thing to say, but like they're the band that kind of bridged all that stuff.
I love that. What's the score we got here?
9-7 Brian.
9-7 Brian. We got one question left. And who's up? Kevin. Willie Nelson.
Is he in?
I don't know.
Say
You
yes
tell
or
me.
no.
Yes.
He was inducted, so it's 9-8. Should we do like a quick round here? And this
We don't have a prize, so I don't care if I win.
Oh, see, this, I got to remember we got to bring prizes back. Round 4, fake nominees. Can you spot the lie? We'll do 3 questions. And I guess, Brian, if you get one, then it's kind of over, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I guess it's over. Each year, the Rock Hall announces a batch of nominees. In this round, the players must spot the fake nominee from a given year.
Okay.
So 2021. Interesting. Foo Fighters, Carole King, The Go-Go's, Rage Against the Machine, The Beastie Boys.
Beastie Boys, they were already in.
Brian wins.
Okay.
He wins nothing, though.
I win nothing, yeah.
All right. Next week, I will bring back the prizes, right? Bring back
Bring back the prizes.
Bring back the prizes.
Bring them back.
Listen, if you or someone else is interested in learning how to play an instrument, we can help you with that. And I'm surrounded by amazing men only that can do that for you, according to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Nice save there.
So, yes, please click below and get your free lesson today. And join us next time for something just like this or a little bit better. Take care.